Hi guys, hello, welcome back to my channel. So I have decided to start a new series on my channel, and this is called the Move Back to Nigeria series. If you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, you would have realized that for the past 2.5 weeks I have been in Nigeria, and 5 weeks out of those few weeks that I've been here I spent doing a course in Nigeria called the Foreign Pharmacy Graduate Orientation Program. This was basically a 5 weeks course that you do if you are a registered pharmacist outside of Nigeria and you want to come into Nigeria to practice as a pharmacist. This year it was held at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University in Anambra State. So yes guys, I went to Anambra State. This was my first time in Anambra, and I must say it was an experience. 5 weeks program. So it was 4 weeks of lectures, practical work, and then a week of exams. At the end of it, I think we had 7 exams, so we had to do 7 exams in 5 days. Introducing this new series on my channel. Like I said, it's the Move Back to Nigeria series. Basically, I am planning a move back to Nigeria, and part of that was me doing this course. In this video, I'm just going to be sharing with you my experience, what I learned, what the course was about, because I just found that when I was preparing to go do this course, I felt like I didn't have enough information, and it was really difficult getting the information. So I decided to make a very informative video, just sharing with you guys what I learned, what I found out, and the different experiences. I'm gonna try and make this video as structured as possible. I tried to vlog my experience, guys, but because I was within a group of people that I didn't really know them and I've never vlogged before, I kind of found it a bit uncomfortable. But as soon as I started knowing people a little bit more, I started getting used to it, and I kind of vlogged a bit more compared to the beginning of the program. So throughout this video I will be putting clips here and there based on what I am talking about. So I don't want this video to be too long, so it might have a second part, so look out for that. This was a 5 weeks course in Anambra State. Apparently they built the lecture theatre, like, you know, just for us, and I was like, yeah, right guys. So it had air conditioning, it had fans, they had a projector. So it was a lot more than I thought. I'm not even going to lie, I thought I was going to go to a university and they wouldn't have a projector, it would be a blackboard. We were given handouts, we were given a book. The book that had all the handouts for the lectures, we had to pay for it, and then we got a pharmacy law book as well. So the modules that we did, we had chemistry, microbiology, pharmaceutics, law, what else? There was 3 more. Law, oh, it's gone out of my head. What else did we have? Pharmacology. So pharmacology and toxicology was 1. What else? And 2 more, I can't remember. So it was really good. You get to learn things that are very Nigeria related. I think I came onto the course thinking that I would have to relearn everything that I learned at uni. Obviously you did have to relearn some of these things, but it was tailored to Nigeria, which is something I really like. I've listed all the modules that we did, and within those modules, pharmaceutics, microbiology, and there was 1 more, you had lab class, and pharmacognosy, you had a lab class. If you do this course because they tend to do it in a different state every year, so obviously this might not relate depending on what state it will be in, but whatever. Like, I have never ventured outside of Lagos, Ogun State, and Abuja. Like that, those were my limits. And the first time I came to Abuja was in March, so I've always stayed Lagos and Ogun State. That was it. Getting to Anambra for me was an experience. Thank God my fiance, he organized my travel. He booked us a flight from Abuja to Asaba, and this was like a 50 minutes flight. We landed in Asaba, and then we got a car from the airport in Asaba to Anambra State. So that was supposed to be a 1.5 hours journey. It took 4 hours because of the traffic. We didn't get to Anambra until like 10 or 9 because it took such a long time. The university kind of sorted out accommodation for people, because before I came to Abuja I was a bit like, where am I going to stay during this course? But the university got in contact with us and they gave us like 2 options of hotels that you can stay in. So the first one was the City Landmark Hotel, yes, which is where I stayed, and the second one that they gave us the option for was Don Ritz. Because we didn't know what we were doing, a lot of us went for these options, but a few people on the course, you know, they're from Anambra, so they lived at home or they sorted out their own accommodation. But I think I just liked the idea of staying in a hotel because I didn't have to worry about light, water, internet, all those kind of things, even though the internet in the hotel didn't work. So we stayed at the City Landmark, very nice hotel, newly built-ish. It wasn't completed, so nice hotel. It was in the middle of nowhere, and we had light constantly. We had water, like hot water every day, yes. And the internet, they never sorted out, but they were supposed to. And so we paid for that per night, and it came to about 5,000 naira per night, guys. I felt like it was a lot of money compared to what other people were paying, but I think it just took away the stress of other stuff. And other people stayed at Don Ritz. I think they paid the same price as well for where they stayed. Because you were staying in a hotel, you had to pay for your own food. You couldn't cook or anything. The food was extortion because at the beginning they gave us like a flat rate, and as the weeks went on, the portions reduced and the price increased. No one was happy about that, I must say. It was just ridiculous. Like I said, obviously depending on where you're going, things will be different, so they might find somewhere for you guys and let you know, stuff like that. Second day was registration and orientation. Then guys, on that first day, like, I entered I entered Keke and I entered a Danfo bus. In my 24 years of being on this planet Earth, even when I lived in Nigeria, I had never entered a Danfo bus. And on this first day, guys, I got inside a Danfo bus. I wish I could have vlogged the experience for you guys, but yeah. Classes. So you had classes every day from about 9 till 3, 9 till 4, 9 till 5, depending on what you were doing and what the timetable said. So you got a timetable, and obviously Nigerians, we don't keep to time. You know, lecturers will rock up whenever they feel like it and go over their allowed time. So say you had a lecture that was supposed to run from like 9 till 11, it would turn up at like 11, and then so the lecture that is supposed to start at like 12 wouldn't start until 2, and then you're like just messing around, like, really guys, really? But obviously that's to be expected. So the classes were good, it was fun. You learned a lot. I learned that people tend to use herbal products to treat minor ailments and also disease states, so that was really interesting as well. Pharmacology was interesting. I'm guessing it doesn't matter what state, those are the modules that you would have to cover. And so yeah, so classes ran, and then you got like a 1 hour break. Sometimes you got 2 hours because the lecturer wouldn't turn up. Sometimes you got to finish early because a lecture was cancelled. And so yeah, so you got a book, you got a handout, which we didn't know we had to pay for until we got there. We thought the cost that we paid initially would cover like your books and transport and everything. In terms of transportation, if you stayed in one of the hotels that was recommended by the university, so the Landmark or the Don Ritz Hotel, the university organized a bus to pick you up from the hotel, take you to the university and bring you back. That bus, gosh. gosh, that bus. The bus driver, oh my gosh, like, so the bus shuttled us to and fro. We had to obviously pay for that as well. So just be prepared for extra expenses when you get there. You also had to do lab work, so we did a lot of practicals. Majority of the practicals I found were like practicals I did at university. So practicals that I did back in like first year, like extemp and stuff like that. Things I did in first year, that was what we were doing as practical. And you had to write a report as well. And it was good because, like, you know, it was kind of bringing back memories as to when you did it in first year or second year. But it was bad because now I'm a qualified pharmacist and you are expecting me to do acid-base titration, like really. That was A-level stuff, and you were making me do this as a registered pharmacist. And also we had to buy a lab coat. So if you have a lab coat, take it with you. And yeah. We got to go on 2 field trips. The first one was a trip to Inri Kingdom. That was a lot of fun. Like, they organized, when I say organized, guys, it wasn't organized. Like, there was like 124 of us. We were going to this Inri Kingdom and they only got one bus. Obviously not the entire 124 people turned up. So there were about 80 and you got one bus, really. But yes, the first one, Inri Kingdom, which was good. I expected more. They were like, you know, a traditional Igbo kingdom. Like, I was expecting, you know, like people in like a little compound. You have the village, the palace, the king's palace. You have little huts. It was nothing like that, guys. And then they took us to a shrine. I think it was a shrine, and it was just creepy. And the guy was like we had to pass this place, and he was like, if you fly at night, don't come through here. And I was like, okay. This is where they do all them films. It is actually. And then the second one was to herbal clinic, and that one was something else. That we didn't even get out of the bus. That was how bad it was. We didn't get out of the bus because, like, the road to the place was like, it had rained and it was really muddy and the bus couldn't go down, so they wanted us to get out of the bus and walk, and we're like, no, like, I was in sandals and skinny jeans. I'm not about to do that, no. And they were like, you have to get down, blah blah blah. At the end of the day, they took us back to the hotel, so that trip was cut short. Also went on 2 clinical visits to Anambra Ezekwe Hospital, teaching hospital. I thought I was coming to Nigeria to practice as a hospital pharmacist. I changed my mind on that day. On that very day, I decided hospital. You got to see the wards, you got to walk around and meet different clinical pharmacists and stuff like that. So that in itself was kind of fun, but I had a lot of questions afterwards. I had to go back home and sit and reflect and think about what exactly I wanted to do. We had a week of exams, 5 days. Monday and Wednesday we had 2 exams, and the exams were, I think with the exams, the thing that got me is I am a very time conscious person. I don't like my time being wasted because I am also very impatient. So if you're going to tell me an exam is starting at 9 o'clock, I will be ready for 9 o'clock. And if I have the, you know, if I can be there for 9, I expect you to be there for 9 as well. So obviously, exam is starting at 9. You don't get there at 9. You get there earlier, so you know you're prepared and you're on time. But you get there at like 8:30. Exam starting at 9. You won't start until like 11. And I'm so impatient. So I think at the beginning of the week, I was very frustrated with that. But then towards the end of the week, I was just like, you know what? Do whatever you want to do. Like, whatever. Having an exam in Nigeria was an experience because Nigerians being Nigerians, I'm not going to say too much, but yeah. I enjoyed it. If I was to give it a score out of 10, I would give it like 8. And I say that because I got to meet so many different people. I'm a person, I like to observe, I like to know what other people are doing, I like to find out information, and like I think that was the highlight, the amount of different people I met. I met people that studied pharmacy in India, in Ukraine, in Egypt, in America, in the UK, obviously, like in very random places. So I am very grateful for that experience, getting to meet different people and interacting and bonding. No, actually, I'll give it 7 out of 10 because of the people I met, 7. But in terms of everything, I was very frustrated. I was irritated. It was not organized. People at the hotel, like, I think Nigerians don't know what customer service is. Like, customer service does not exist in Nigeria. So that was annoying as well, but I don't want to go into too much detail. And I think also I learned I had certain qualities that, like, obviously I always knew I was not very patient, but I realized how impatient I was from the entire course. Like, I am very like, can we get moving, can we get started? So if you have any questions about the course, or you know, there's something I haven't mentioned, something I haven't covered, you know, just leave a comment down below and I will answer it. So I really hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and I will speak to you in my next video. Bye guys.